Saponi-Catawba relatives, Membiwa Tahushka, Obi Miha. Welcome back to the channel. As you can see on the screen, the name of the channel is Obi Miha Surnames Kasali. When you come to the channel, please like the videos, and also don't forget to subscribe. And as always, relatives, much appreciation. Alright, so today's video, we're going to keep on going on the same topic that the last couple of videos have been over, Virginia tribes. And as I go over the Virginia tribes, I'm trying to also show you the surnames associated with the tribes. But what I want to do also is show you the tribal websites, surnames that go along with it, so that as you do get further along in your genealogy and you start to see your connection to these tribes, hopefully your goal is to, if it is your goal to become a tribal member, that you reach out to these tribes for tribal membership. Alright guys, so let's get into it. So today I'm going to go over the Nottoway Indians tribe and the Chickahominy tribe. So I did discover with the Chickahominy tribe that there is a East Chickahominy and a just Chickahominy tribe. So they do have several branches. One other thing that you'll notice too is that a lot of these tribes have branches or nations or clans or whatever you want to call it in different states. The people that come from these original tribes may have migrated to a certain state, and then they form tribes in that state because they are ancestors of the people that came from the original tribe. So that's something you'll come to notice as well. And I have learned that, my tribe particularly does this, and I do know there are other tribes that do this as well. Alright relatives, so again I'm going over the Nottoway tribe of Virginia and the Chickahominy tribe of Virginia. So let's jump into the Nottoways first. I wanted to pull up their website because they do have nottowayindians.org. Is the name of their site. When you get here, you'll see about their council, their tribal government. They talk about their state recognition. They show all kinds of different things that their tribe, information about the tribe. So also wanted to show you guys the council members. So their chief is Lynette Alston. Their assistant chief is Archie Elliott. Their war chief is William Wright. Their council members, we got Edwin Dukes, we got the Lucas, Vivian Lucas, Beth Roach, Leroy Hardy, Sidney Turner, and Edward Branch. So as you guys know, we've gone over a lot of these surnames and the family histories. So I just wanted to show you that our people are part of these tribes. Again, if you have some of these surnames associated, it's probably a good idea to reach out to the tribe and find out how you go about getting tribal membership, if that's something you choose to do. Okay. The other thing I wanted to do is go over some of their information in the family histories. That's our first mention of the Nottoway Indians. It says some Indians with English surnames took their names from African American parents, which, if you understand what this is basically saying, is it's saying that the Indians and the African Americans are the same people. I mean, this is basically what it's saying. So it says Solomon Bartlett, born about 1727, a free mulatto living in Bertie County in 1772, was probably the ancestor of Solomon and Fanny Bartlett, born about 1800, who were counted in the 1808 Nottoway Indian census. Okay, so I believe we do have that as well, the Nottoway census. I may get into that here. Let's go to our next mention. Let's click down here. So next we have Frances Skipper was married to Anne, an African-American woman, before February 2nd, 1667-68, when they sold 100 acres of land in Norfolk County. It says they may have been the ancestors of George Skipper, one of the Nottoway Indians who sold land in Southampton County on February 2nd, 1749. Okay, so now we get another surname associated. So Skipper, and I believe the previous one was Bartlett. All right, so next mention, it says the nearest thing to a census of the reservations and is provided by the deeds by which Indians living on tribal land sold or leased their land. The deeds were signed by the chief men and women of the tribe. The principal members of the Nottoway and Nansemond living in present-day Southampton County were. So we have King Edmunds. So we got the Edmunds surname, James Harrison. We got that name. We have Ned, Peter, Robert, Scholar. We got that surname. We got Sam, Winoki, Robin. We got William Hines. We got Frank. And we got Robin Winoki Jr. We got Tom Cochran's and Will Cochran's. Okay, so that's also some of the surnames that are part of the family history. So spelled a little different, but it's the same surname. Then we got Sam. So that was in 1735. Then we have Sam, Frank, Jack, last name Will, surname. We have John Turner. We have Watt Bailey. So we got the Bailey surname, and George Skipper, which we read above. And then it says there's a John Turner and Celia Rogers, and it says a Nansemond Indian, and then it says Suki Turner. All right. So let's keep going. I think this is our next mention here. It says between 1734 and 1756, the Nottoway had been reduced by the want of the common necessities of life, sickness, and other casualties. So basically, it's saying these people are starting to be turned into Negroes and coloreds and African Americans. Says that the Virginia legislature allowed them to sell a total of 18,000 acres of their land in Southampton County. Says they use land sales and leases to support themselves. It claims that there were only 6 adults and 11 children in the census taken in 1808. So we have a scholar, or a Littleton scholar, Tom Turner, Jimmy Winoke, Edie Turner, Nancy Turner, and Betsy Stepp. And then it's saying the children were Tom Stepp, Henry Turner, Alexander Rogers, John Woodson, Winnie Woodson, Annie Woodson, Polly Woodson, Fanny Bartlett. We got a Solomon Bartlett, Billy Woodson, and Jenny Woodson. All right, and then it says here that no adult Indian was married to or sharing a household with any other adult Indian. All right, so that there is the Nottoway that I wanted to mention to you guys. Also, we'll be getting back into the Vance Hawkins link we were reading about. So while I'm here, let's go ahead and catch the Chickahominy information. So really only one real mention of the Chickahominy, so I'm going to read this real quick and then I'll get into their website and all that different stuff. It says in the 1750s, the Mush family descends of Chickahominy Indian James Mush, joined the community, and by the time of the Revolution, there were members of the Major family who were probably related to free Eastern Shore Indian Peter Major. And then it goes on to say African slaves and Indian slaves named Cook. Freedom Suits 1804, Major. Freedom Suit 1801, Accomack County African American Digital Collection. And that's in the Library of Virginia, if you wanted to look up that info. All right, so let's go to the Chickahominy information real quick. So here is the site for the Chickahominy Indian tribe again. I'm going to read off some surnames. So we got the Atkins, and as you can see, several Atkins family members are part of this tribe. We have the Stewarts, who are also members of this tribe. We have the Kennedy family, so we went over that, Kennedy. And then we also have the Wynn surname. So all these people are still active members to this day of this tribe. Those are the surnames associated. All right, so let's go into these surnames as well. So I just read most of them there. So we got Atkins, we got Bradby, Kennedy, we got Copman, Stewart, Holmes, Jefferson, Jones, Miles, Sweat, Thompson, and Wynn. So again, genealogy work needs to be done, and you need to have your genealogy on point whenever you're going to be applying for tribal membership with any of these tribes, okay? So I just wanted to point that out. So that was the Nottoway Indian tribe. We went over that and their website, and the surnames associated with them. And then we also went over the website for the Chickahominy and read the information and the names associated with them. All right, so let's finish this off with the Vance Hawkins article that we were going over with yesterday. We were reading surnames, and I believe we left off on the Melungeons. So let me get back to that area. Let's see here. Yeah, there's the Melungeons. We read those surnames. Okay, so let's go on to the Magoffin County, Kentucky. And let's read what we have here. So it says some 234 Indians were recorded for Kentucky. I'm gonna blow this up just to make sure you guys can see it good. Okay. Some 234 Indians were recorded for Kentucky in 1910. Later census figures do not enumerate as many. Most of the Indians enumerated were in Magoffin and Floyd counties in the eastern part of the state. In southern Kentucky, on the Tennessee border, in Cumberland and Monroe counties, is the Coe clan. This is a mixed group of part Indian descent. These people live on Pea Ridge along the Cumberland River in an area bound partly by the river on the south and west, by Kettle Creek on the east, and Gudayo Creek on the north. All right, and then it says they also lived in Breathitt, Floyd, Lawrence, and Johnson counties in eastern Kentucky. And the surnames we got there are Sizemore, Mullins, Perkins, and Cole. All right, so let's move on to the Carmel Indians. It says Ohio. Excuse me. There were 435 Indians in Ohio in 1930. 6% pure blood, 20.9% mixed, and 73.1% not recorded according to the census. The returns show their presence mainly in the cities of the state, as in Cleveland, Cayuga County, Columbus, Franklin County, which is where I am, Cincinnati, Hamilton County, Toledo, Lucas County, and Akron, Summit County. There were only a few hundred Indians in rural Hardin County, who may represent a survival from early times, a few refugees in the Scioto Marshes, and then the settlement at Carmel. Okay. It says there are a number of mixed blood groups of part Indian descent in Ohio who are not recorded in the census. The most notable of those is the Dark County mixed blood group located near Tampico on the Indiana border, about 40 miles northeast of Dayton, Ohio. The settlement dates back to the early 19th century, and members of the group still hold themselves apart from both Negroes and whites. At present, they are said to number about 60 families, and they have their own schools and churches, Methodist. All right. It says near the village of Carmel, Ohio, about 65 miles east of Cincinnati, there is a small group of mixed blood Indians. They date back to 1858, when a white man moved here from Virginia with a dozen Negroes. And I think I might have gone over this or talked about this briefly. Retainers about the time of the Civil War. The latter mixed with other people who had arrived not long before from McGoffin County in eastern Kentucky and who were reportedly of Indian descent. The present-day Carmel Indians live in shacks on the farmers' lands, where they provide occasional labor and subsist by hunting, sale of ginseng and yellow root, and by their scant stock of chickens and pigs. A few own small plots, but the rest have been said to be on relief recently. Many migrated from the area during World War II, but about 50 still remain in the neighborhood. The family names are Nichols, Gibson, and Perkins. So again, these surnames do show up in my tribe's list here. So it says a source listed the following surnames online. So core families, we have Burnett, Chavis, Shavers, Coker, Crocker, Cradoff, Dungy, Harris, Howe, Longmarsh, McKeel, Keel, Kills, Scott, Stewart. Okay, so I do have the Chavis surname in my genealogy out of the core family names. And it says core simply meaning most prominent and frequent surnames in our Ohio, Indiana, Michigan communities. So next we're going to get into the extended family names. So we have Allen, Anderson, Archer, Artis, Ayers, Bass, Beverly, Bowling, Branham, Brandon, Gray, Brown, Bunch, Bird, both spellings, Kennedy, Cole, Collins, Corn, Cousins, Crossman, Dalton, Jordan, Day, Dempsey, Dixon, Evan, or Epps, Gallimore, Associated Peppers. We got Garland, Gibson, Goings, Griffin, Guy, Havecock, Hart, Haskins, Hawk, Hawkins, Hawley, Hedgepath, Henson, Holly, Hughes, James, Jeffries, Johnson, Jones, Heaton, Kersey, Liggins, Locklear, Lucas, Lynch, Martin, Mason, Matthews, Mail. We got Maley or Mail. We got Mayo, McDaniel, McKinney, Minor, Moss, Newman, Nichols, Norman, Norris, Oxendine, Parker, Perkins, Pettiford, Penn, Pompey, Powell, Ragland, Redmond, Rickman, Richardson, Robinson, Saunders, Sanders, Sexton, Shepard, Shoemake, Simon, Sizemore, Spears, Stills, Taburn, Tan, Thacker, Tyler, Upgrove, Valentine, Bond, Vinny, Watkins, Watson, Witt, and Winborn. Okay, so most of these surnames are associated with the Saponi-Catawba Nation that I am a part of. So again, you will see these same surnames in all the other tribes in the state of Virginia, also in North Carolina, South Carolina tribes as well. because that's a lot of these people came from those areas, so that's why you will see them. Next, we'll do the Guineas of West Virginia, and then I think we'll close it out here after this one. So we got Guineas, West Virginia. It says, as in previous cases mentioned, the census does not recognize any Indian groups in West Virginia. However, there is a fair-sized group of people centering in northern Barber and southern Taylor counties in the northeastern part of the state who may lay claim to at least part Indian ancestry. These are the Guineas, whose number may range up to 6,000 to 7,000. Small groups of these people are to be found in 6 or 7 other counties in northern West Virginia and parts of western Maryland, and cities of eastern and northern Ohio, such as Zanesville and in Detroit. So, cool fact, fun fact, whatever. I was born in Zanesville, Ohio. So, it says the Guineas present the unusual variety found in mixed bloods, but the white and Indian seem to be most prominent. They have their own Methodist churches and 10 segregated schools, which are locally classed as colored. As a class, they stay apart from both whites and Negroes and are characterized by the following family names. So again, these people, if it's saying that they're mixed bloods, I mean they're obviously have Negro blood in them. So just dodge all hijacks again. So the family names are Adams, Collins, Croston, Dalton, Kennedy, Malay, Newman, Norris, and Pritchard. Their racial classification has furnished considerable difficulty to the local authorities. So again, surnames: Adams, Collins, Croston, Dalton, Dorton, Kennedy, male or Malay, minor or Meaner, Newman, Norris, Pritchard. Again, all these surnames tie in with each other. Like I was saying before, you see them quite often. All right, so again, let me stop the screen share real quick. So relatives again, that is the tribes that I wanted to cover today for Virginia. So we had the Nottoway, the Chickahominy. Again, like I was saying, there's the Eastern Chickahominy tribe as well. So again, if you guys see your family's surnames showing up that I just read off, please, get the genealogy on point, keep digging, going back further. Again, find your tribe, and I love each and every one of you, and I'll probably drop another video again tomorrow. Take care. Peace.